So today I'll be going over my marketing plan for Chipotle Mexican Grill. So Chipotle's objectives for 2026 include an expansion of 350 to 370 new locations, where 10 to 15 of these locations will be operated internationally through partners. And then as part of this expansion, Chipotle will set up its first location in Mexico. And another key objective for 2026 is integrating drive-through lines to 80% of company-owned restaurants. And these are being added to enhance the customer experience while boosting sales through the newly added convenience that this provides. And then I personally believe that Chipotle needs to focus on their Gen Z demographic. This can be done through a social media based marketing campaign, advertising on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all those social media apps. They can gain more traction with Gen Z, and bringing in influencers and collaborating with them will boost the strength of this campaign with Gen Z. And the cost for this campaign is $353.4 million. And then our main resources for this campaign are going to be our social media platforms, collaborations, and our employees who are successfully running our accounts on these platforms. And so Chipotle, they just recently updated their mission statement from to ensure that better food prepared from whole unprocessed ingredients is accessible to everyone, to their new mission statement, which is to provide food with integrity. Both of these mission statements show their dedication to providing and making fresh and healthy food accessible, and their dedication sets them apart from other restaurants. They have targeted a health conscious consumer, and they provide them with high quality, nutritious food. And by consistently providing this service, they've established themselves as a high quality and transparent restaurant that customers can trust and return to again and again. So, as previously stated, the objectives for 2026 are a expansion of 350 to 370 new locations, with 10 to 15 of them being operated internationally, and the first restaurant in Mexico, Chipotle's restaurant in Mexico, to be built in early 2026. And then also integrating the drive-through lines to 80% of company-owned restaurants. Their market position is Chipotle is the largest fast casual chain in the United States, and is nearly completely company owned with just a few licensed stores, despite having almost 4,000 locations. Mainly in the US, but also in other countries like Canada, the UK, France, Germany, and the Middle East. And even with everything going on in 2025, they were able to increase their average order values, even with the increase in operating costs with everything going on. They're also ahead of their fast casual competitors like Qdoba, Moe's Southwest Grill, and Taco Bell, which is their fast food competitor. So Chipotle is continuing to do well in their environment. Their mission aligns with growing consumer demand for healthier dining options. And when examining the current environment, it's important that we look at the political, economic, social, technological, ecological, and regulatory sectors. So within the political sector, Chipotle, with them now expanding into other countries and have already expanded into other countries, it is important that they fully understand the laws and all the regulations that come with that. And some good news is that even if the FDA were to become stricter on food quality, Chipotle wouldn't really have to worry, since they only use 53 ingredients with no artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. They also use no canned food or freezers in their restaurants, and all of their protein options contain no added hormones. Also, it is important that Chipotle understands that due to the increased tariffs on Mexican goods, that their ingredient costs are going to go up, and this can add costs to customers, which could cause a decrease in sales. So it's important they understand that that is something that's affecting their political sector. Within the economic sector, Because of Chipotle's focus on fresh and premium ingredients, those come at a higher cost. So during a time of economic uncertainty that's kind of been happening lately, it's important for Chipotle to again understand that this could cause a drop in sales. And while they're known for their custom orders, they still operate on a fairly small menu, which does help them. And within the social sector, Chipotle's business model works amazingly with people constantly wanting, to try something new. And with people craving different items at different times, they have multiple entree options with a limited ingredient menu, which definitely helps them out quite a bit. And then Chipotle's use of organic ingredients makes them a top competitor with people who are looking for fast and healthy food options. Plus, they've already established themselves with the millennial demographic. Within the technological sector, Chipotle has always worked to adopt the latest technology and has successfully set themselves up for online ordering and third-party delivery services, and they're working to establish an appeal to the Gen Z demographic. Within the ecological sector, Chipotle has a focus on sustainability and on organic ingredients. Chipotle could improve on their recycling and waste management strategies to compete with other restaurants that focus on sustainability. However, their energy system shows their sustainability values. Within the regulatory sector, Chipotle must continue to abide by the FDA as well as other countries' regulations regarding food quality. And they also must keep up with changing rules and regulations regarding consumer and labor laws. For marketing trends, the fast casual restaurant market size is valued at $76.2 billion in 2024, with the expectation of it to reach $183.99 billion by 2032. With the increase, it's important for Chipotle to increase its demand in the market and be a leader compared to competitors. So, with its main competitors being Qdoba, Moe's, and Taco Bell, it's important to understand the differences and the strengths and weaknesses of these different restaurants. So, for Qdoba, they operate in a very similar manner to Chipotle, but they differentiate themselves with a wider range of ingredients and proteins. However, they do run a smaller operation compared to Chipotle with less than 1,000 locations. Moe's Southwest Grill operates in a similar manner to both Chipotle and Qdoba. However, it differentiates itself with more toppings along with free chips and salsa and creating a more offbeat environment that's very unique and fun and family friendly. But they also have a smaller operation with their 2024 revenue being not even reaching $1 billion. Taco Bell, with the fast food market not growing as quickly as the fast casual market, they're having to compete with restaurants such as Chipotle, Qdoba, and Moe's. And they are trying to compete by adding Fresco section, which features healthier options. And they differentiate themselves by offering fast and value-friendly options. However, Chipotle competes in the fast casual market by providing both convenience and higher quality. Well pricier than its competitors, the food is prepared in front of the customer with fresher ingredients, and they have found their niche and their section within the market. Their clear transparency allows customers to know the meals from fresh and responsibly sourced options. And they know their target audience, and some of their target audiences include health-conscious consumers who Chipotle should target by advertising the high nutritional value of their meals and doing this on social media with health-affiliated hashtags. For millennials and Gen Z, they have already secured millennials mostly as part of their demographic, but they could continue to build up on their Gen Z demographic by using social media ads, sharing positive experiences, or targeting this segment to sign up for text discounts or their app for additional loyalty points. They could also target busy professionals and students. Due to scheduling, Chipotle is a really great option for them. and they should target them through offering discounts on delivery or pickup orders and by sending notifications mentioning how time-saving ordering them is. Vegetarians and vegans are a great sector for Chipotle since they offer vegan and vegetarian options, and they should target these consumers by advertising on social media the different vegetarian and vegan options they have using affiliated hashtags. For my marketing campaign, I chose that we should focus on millennials and Gen Z. We should continue to build that strong connection we already have with millennials while strengthening our relationship with Gen Z. And by doing this, we'll also strengthen our busy professionals and students segment, since the majority of that segment comes from these generations. And with Chipotle having over 3,700 locations, and with the goal of having 7,000 locations in 2030. And as of 2024, they had 130,504 employees. And then with revenue from September 30th, 2024 to September 30th, 2025, their revenue was $11.78 billion, which is a 7.31% increase year over year, and they're operating at a margin of 17.27%. For communications, they should use multiple channels, including social media and partnering with influencers, as well as using text and email marketing in the mobile app. The marketing budget, as I said earlier, should be $353.4 million. This accounts for 3% of our revenue, and $176.7 million will go towards payroll, while the rest of the budget will go towards the marketing expenses. And here are my references that I used throughout the paper. Thank you.